Hi everyone, I'm Verhagen's Craft Wagon. My name is Tanya, and I am just starting to get back out in the craft show area, business type stuff. And I have my first show in June 15th, in Toma, Wisconsin, at the Grams Central Station. And I'm very, very excited to do that. I have tons in inventory. I'm a person that can't stop crocheting whatsoever. And don't mind me, I know I have no makeup on or anything. This is my face has been breaking out from putting makeup on, so I decided don't need it. But I have been very much prepping more inventory. Lately, I have been making butterfly tops. So I probably have about 8 right now. I'm working on another one. And some of them are cotton, and some of them are a really cool acrylic. Some of them are even from Red Heart acrylic. But the one I'm making right now actually it's a variety. It's got like acrylic and some cotton and polyester, and this yarn feels so soft. Kind of sucks to work with because the strands kind of like want to unravel a little bit, so you kind of have to keep twisting to as you crochet, but it's worth it because of how beautiful they look afterwards and how soft they are. And I'm really hoping to sell out of those. I did make a couple of shell tops. If you guys don't know what those are, it's like it starts really small up here and then goes out in a shell type style, like an oyster kind of shell. I have 2 of those. One is actually with a set with a pair of pants or shorts. The shorts are, I want to say 32 inches around, maybe 34. I don't remember exactly right now. But they're really cute also. And I actually got that off of YouTube. I do not have the link because I can add them to the comics or try to do it in the description if you'd like that. I just got into amigurumi this year, so I've done leggy froggies. I've done a giant type ice cream cone, my own like just kind of threw my own pattern out there. When I see someone doing something, I don't honestly need the pattern. I basically can create the exact same thing without actually going into the pattern. Some of the things I can't. I gotta follow the pattern. Like the butterfly tops, I gotta follow the pattern. But like these guys, I don't follow a pattern. Yes, I know I still need to put the face on it. It's a loaf cat. I don't really follow the pattern. Main reason is because they turn out a little too big, so I like doing them a little bit smaller. And I like the ears a little bit bigger. They don't have the ears as big as I like them. And I just do bobble legs. I don't know if the pattern actually calls for a bobble leg, but I just do bobble stitch for the legs. And then I leave a little hole for the tail and then just attach the tail so I don't have to do a sewing on it. All I have to do is just do a little ring going over and over and over and over and over and over and then just close up the end, which makes my job a lot easier. So I only have like 2 actual holes that I have to close up after I stuff it. And yes, I make the chickens, the Mabel chickens that everybody is really into and everything. I don't have them out here, but I do have pictures in, I think, my Instagram. If you want to go look at that, again, that's Verhagen's Craft Wagon. And I have 2 love cats right now, and then I am in the process because it hurts my hands. The yarn that I get is like, it kind of hurts to use. I am just able to actually in the foot and the hand. So if you guys can see that, I have a scar literally across my arm. There was a really bad accident a couple of years ago, and I almost died, but I survived, thank God. And I don't have an artery going down there, so a lot of the nerves are shot also, so I don't have much feeling in these fingers. So, like, when I do crochet with the big yarn, which, guys, I get my yarn from Toomey, because I'm not going to go to Walmart. I live in Norwalk. I'm not going to travel to Walmart. I'm not going to travel to all these other bunch of places. And then buying it online is expensive. So, you know what? I do Toomey. Or Tumu. My bad. And I get yarn really cheap. I'm actually subscribed to them. I get all my velvet yarn from them. I get all my plush yarn from them. All my fur yarn from them. And so I do sell my products a little bit cheaper. The main reason because of that. Red Heart yarn and Main Street, I do go to Walmart for. All the acrylics I go there for. My cottons, I also do. I also order, because the cottons are so fabulous. They're not a normal cotton like peaches and cream. They are so much softer. And I could probably show you. I have like pretty much all my yarns all over here. Nope. Those are something else. I have a bunch of yarns all around me right now. I don't have a space to actually do it except for my living room. Okay, so that's acrylic. My bad. What is this? Half acrylic. Oh, okay. Right here. Okay, this is sock yarn, which I plan on making a top out of this. Don't mind me, I'm kind of getting used to my glasses. I just got them a little different. Oh, and this is acrylic too. My bad. But anyway, this acrylic, like these acrylics, if you look at these acrylics, they are so soft. I'm not even lying about that. It literally, I don't know if you can see that. I mean, look how soft it even looks. And me touching them, it almost feels like velvet. It really does. I know it's not the velvet because obviously this is velvet. And this is one of my thinner yarns. And no, I've not caked it yet. My winder is around here somewhere. I've been ordering stuff for getting ready for my craft show on the 15th of June. So, everything is kind of like all messed up. And also I do, resin epoxy items, which also is on my Instagram. So I have all that all over the place too. It's my own little section, so it's not like it's all over the house. It's just around me. I have just like bags, and then when I know I'm not going to be doing any more of that stuff, I take the bags and go put them in the tote, or dump them in the totes. So that is, like basically what I do. I have a bunch of bags, like Walmart bags is what I have, and some like mesh type bags, some duffel bags. I even have like those huge storage laundry cloth bags that I put actually my amigurumi is in one huge bag. And it is so heavy. It's about half full right now. It is so heavy, I can't lift it. My boyfriend has to lift it for me. And there is leggy froggies in there, and the ice cream cone that I was talking about. Turtles. I really liked making turtles, and I made four. Let's see, one big turtle that's like lilac type. It has like some flowers on it, and then it's like a base of flower, which is also on my Instagram or my Facebook. If you type in Verhagen Craft Wagon, it should take you to the page, and you should be able to. I mean, a lot of people post on there, but you should be able to find them somehow in there. And then I have 2 sunflowers, 2 daisies, and then out of my velvet yarn, and then 2 strawberry turtles that are medium size. I consider medium size, and they're going to be sold for $15 each out of this type of yarn. So like the generic posh, I guess I would say. And they were pretty easy to make, and I actually used a little bit of scrap finishing up some of my green scrap yarn. So they're just a little bit different in tones, but still they pretty much match, kind of like twins. And then again, I made another loaf cat, which he is completely done. I made a pig, basically kind of like the loaf cat. I'm trying to think what else that I have in there. There's a bunch of stuff. Oh, the jelly bean bunnies. I have a bunch of those. I want to say at least 10 of them in there, and they come out to be about that size, and I think I'm gonna be selling them for like about $8, just because they were a little annoying to make. I have not made octos. I've done bees, and I'm actually going to be starting after I do a couple more butterfly tops in 2 different styles, the shell and then the plain, just double stitch ones. I am going to be making more bees. They're going to be about this size, and then I'm going to be doing about the length of your hand, about the length of my hand kind of style. I do have like 4 of those. I have a pink fuzzy one, a blue fuzzy one, and then 2 mustard colored and black ones. So I'm thinking about just doing like only like 2 more. I'm not sure, because they're going to be in velvet, so I might actually make a couple more, because they'll be a different type of fabric, yarn material. And then I was thinking about doing a couple other type of tops. When I tried to do an octo, I didn't quite like how it turned out, so I didn't even bother stuffing it. I did found a new pattern that like has the tentacles that like kind of do a circle, so I'm thinking I'm gonna actually try to do that actual pattern, and see how that turns out. And then the mushy boys, I do have acrylic mushy boys and a couple of ones that are even cheeky in my bag. I want to say probably about 8 again. Yellow, greens, purples, like a rose red or rose pink, I think the color is called, and then some red ones. I'm thinking about doing them in velvet, and then also the posh. Those prices will probably be a little bit different though, just because again velvet's a little bit harder to work with, and so is the posh, it's a little bit stronger and thicker, and so they'll end up a little bigger. The velvet, you know how velvet is, constantly little things coming out like crazy. Uh, Literally, my boyfriend comes by me and literally picks them out of my hair and around me constantly. He's like, you got fuzz in your hair. I'm like, yeah, that's part of being a crocheter. So, but I am doing way more prep than what I probably should be doing. But again, this is my first one since 2014. Oh, no, 13. My bad. Rephrase that. 2013. And so, rules are completely different. You got to do your taxes and everything. Back then, nobody really cared. Nobody cared. And so, I got to do all that, and I had to get set up for, that. I still got to pay for my spot, but I have it secured. I just got to meet up with the lady and give her the money, which is only $25 for a 10 by 10. I do not have a pop-up tent, but my parents do. They have a camper, and they use a pop-up tent once in a while when they go camping. They're both retired and enjoying their retirement, which I'm very proud that they do that. And I am going to pause, you guys. Okay, sorry about that. My boyfriend was calling me on Facebook. Again, he's at his parents' watching the wrestling pay-per-view. I think it's AEW, I believe. He's a big fan of that and the WWE, which I kind of like it too, so we usually watch it together when he's actually here, which is only one night a week that he really watches it here. Otherwise, he watches it with his dad. And I kind of forgot what we were kind of talking about. Sorry. Oh, some other things that I've made that I'm going to be selling at this craft show. Again, I'm doing a little bit of variety of amigurumi, clothes. I got some water bottle holders. I'm going to be making a few grocery bags, the ones that you can slip into its own self and make it smaller, and maybe some other ones. I'm not sure. Again, I have little less than a month away, so, and I'm a pretty fast crocheter on certain things. It depends on if I gotta, use something to, like a pattern or whatever. And then another thing that I've been making, which I know it's not done, but I mean, because I gotta actually stuff it. They're not gonna have eyes because, come on, look at how tiny they are. I gotta stuff it, but these are I'm calling them itsy turtles. And basically, all it is the shell that you make, and then you add bobbles, a triple crochet for the head bobble, and then all the other ones are single stitch bobbles, and then even it technically has a tail, but you can't actually see it on this one. So I did actually start making them a little bit bigger, and that I just do three single stitches together just to do a little thing. But again, obviously it's not done because I've never made them, and it's just thought about it in my head because I see these tiny turtles. I'm like, no, I want something smaller than that even, because then I could do keychains. Yes, I know a lot of people do big keychains, for stuff that are both that big, but I'm thinking I personally want an option of having a bigger one than a smaller one, or a smaller one than a bigger one. So I'm probably going to be making the tiny turtles also, which I'm going to probably have to have the pattern for that one. I'm not going to make a ton of them, And then the other turtles, because I do love turtles. I actually even have one on me, but it's the design and the tattoo is bad, so I'm not going to show you. I also love owls, so like I really love owls, and I love tigers, panthers, uh, leopards, all kinds of stuff, or all those cats, and but my most favorite is owls. I do really like how owls look. I like penguins too. Um, I prefer owls and like tigers and lions and stuff like that over anything else. And then when it comes to water, I love turtles. I like dolphins and everything too, but like my top notch is turtles. So I think that's one reason is why I made so many turtles, and that I want to make the tiny turtles and the itsy bitsy turtles that I just showed you. Like, I'm still working on, like, maybe even doing a pattern. I might write a pattern. Let me know if you guys want a pattern. Um, it is so simple. Literally, it took me 8 minutes to make. I mean, again, I'm working out the kinks, but probably 5 to 10 minutes, depending on how good you are, And in stuffing the stuff, it doesn't really need eyes. They don't really need eyes. They are cute exactly how they are. I mean, again, look at how cute this little thing is. And it's not even stuffed yet. And it's so adorable. Again, I'm probably not going to stuff that one because, again, I had to work out the quirks and make other ones. Let's see if I have the other ones here. And I just did a bunch of shells. Okay, they must be in here. Okay. Yeah. Alright. I have a drawer with safety eyes and other crochet type stuff, and I just kind of shove them down in there. Okay, so I started making them a little bit bigger, like just the shell area. And this is actually, again, he's not stuffed, so he's not finished. But this is actually what they are starting to look like. Here's a yellow. I got a blue. And a pink. I do have it all written down pretty much of what I gotta do. And what I've been doing is I do the shells. So, like, that's the only bodies that I have. I'm doing kind of like what a lot of people do, assembly line type. So, I do the shells, which are only 5 rows. Can't really tell on that one, but purple. I got other pinks. I got the orange and the yellows in here. I probably have about 30 of them in here of just those colors. I have a bunch of more actual velvet yarn that I'm probably going to do some more in, but I want to get these done first just so I have something. I mean, like, because I have gray velvet. I have another type of yellow. It's a softer yellow, like a pale. I got a couple of other greens. I got a darker purple. Trying to think. I got brown tunic. See, I got like tunic, whatever color they call it, and then I have this khaki, and then a dark brown. So who knows? I don't know if I'll make more. I got whites. I got cream. So who knows? And then the bees I was talking about, I was thinking about making a bunch of ones like this small. I got, I think, 2 of them. And I'm thinking about That one is a little bit smaller than the other one, so I think I made that actually to be a keychain. So I'm probably going to do more keychains. I just kind of wanted to work with it. Again, didn't use pattern. It's when you were crocheting as long as I have, which I started crocheting when I was a kid. I'm 45 now, so when you crochet this is simple. This is nothing. You don't need a pattern for this. So I made a little bit bigger one that I'm planning on doing mystery bags with. I'm gonna do mystery bags with bee, a little tiny loaf cat, and I did make a little frog, and again didn't use a pattern, just kind of made my own. I don't know if I'm gonna do it as in the mystery thing or do it as a keychain. I mean, because it is a little too small for the mystery thing that I wanted to do. And then we got this. I'm probably going to make a couple more of these chickens, but like do like a yellow, another white, and maybe a duck type style, like the mallard ducks, which I do have some of those actually too. So, in my regular inventory, and then I have small chicken nuggets, only a four piece chicken nugget. So, just to see how well they do. And I got emotional pickles that are about, I want to say, maybe 6-7 inches long. I got a darker green and then a lighter green on them. See, like I get so much stuff in my head, and I'll start working on something and be like, okay, I'm kind of bored with trying to figure this one out right now, so I will go do something else, and it's usually something easy that I don't have to use my brain for, if you get what I mean. Just like, I'm going to do a couple of cactuses. And this is just one. I'm planning on doing either 4 to 5, because I have these. And there's 5 of them. So I'm thinking only about doing, like, again, 4 to 5. I'm not sure. And just what I'll be doing is, like, putting probably a flower on top of there. And then maybe doing, I don't remember, it's the purple pearl or whatever it's called. Maybe doing a purple pearl around it, or on one side of it, and on a couple, and then doing another type of cacti on the other side that's like little. I'm not sure yet, but again, I just kind of put that down because I don't have all the materials that I do, but I did want to kind of size up the container with what the cacti would actually, be. And I think it's a perfect size. It works very good. And again, I'm not going to sell them very expensive. I mean, because you see these ones that are huge and, smaller type. I'm more into making the small stuff. Yes, I do have a couple of big things, like I have a strawberry cow. I'm thinking about making another cow and just having just 2 big items besides the ice cream cone and the big turtle that I made. But I'm more into, let's make a lot of smaller stuff, because first of all, it's easier to pack that stuff up because smaller items fit into smaller spaces, so you can get a lot more stuff in there. Second of all, on the table, it won't take as much space up. Third of all, people are going to buy those a lot more because they're not going to have a bunch of cash on them, or they're going to be like, oh, well, I just bought something that was $30. They're going to see something, oh my gosh, this is cute, and it happens to be a cacti, or one of my small mallards, or something smaller that is between 5 actually 4, because these tiny little turtles that I showed you, I think I called them Itsy. I'm actually going to be selling them for $4 a piece. Again, I could probably sell them a little bit cheaper, but $4 is a decent amount to pay for them. And then it's going to be probably 2 for $6. They're going to see those and be like, oh my god, those are adorable. Or see the keychain that I'm going to be selling for $5 a piece with those, because I'm going to be making some of them into keychains. And they're going to be like, I can do that. Yeah, I just spent $30, but I can spend another $4 or $5, or even $6, or $7 or $8. So a lot of the smaller stuff, I honestly think I'll do better, because I know for a fact at events like, vendors, there's a bunch of craft vendors. Yes, you need to kind of like stand out and everything. And this is how I think I would stand out, because I'm going to have a lot more smaller things to do. And I do custom orders too. So that is not a problem. And if someone does see a big item that they like, but I kind of want this and like this. Okay, awesome. I will make that for you. But I don't have to absolutely have it done for the craft show. If they really want that item, and I'm not wasting my time making it for the craft show, they're going to order it. They're going to be like, okay, I want a custom order. They're going to want it regardless. And if they see like the strawberry cow and they were like, I want a sunflower cow, and I'd be like, great, I'll make it. Or a chocolate cow, or a mint chocolate chip cow. I'll make it. I have no problem with that. But why waste your time on a bunch of big items? Only do a couple, like everybody says. They only bring a few big items to their store. They make a lot smaller ones, because big items don't sell as much. And again, I do all kinds of stuff. I do baby hats. I do baby booties. I do baby dresses. I have not done any human hat or adult hats yet, but I'm going to. I don't need them right now because it's spring. Or the earmuff bands. Don't need them, but I will be doing them in fall. You name it, I can pretty much make it. I've done M&M guys in the past, which, no pattern. I have done the Care Bears in the past, again, no pattern, which I'm sorry, I cannot show you guys the Care Bears. I never thought of taking pictures of them. I did take pictures of the M&Ms, but because it was at a craft show. That's the only reason why. The Care Bears were a custom order, and I literally got them done, was like, instantly, took them to the person that bought, so I could get paid, like so excited, like, oh my gosh, they look so good, and didn't even think about taking a picture. And also, back then, you didn't have the best cameras, camera phones, but I came up with a frog, a sitting frog with the mouth open and his tongue curled. Some of them even had like a little fly. Of course, they were acrylic. I don't know if I could do that pattern again. I probably could come close. I do notice that there are similar patterns of the same frog that I made in 2004 and 5 and 6. So I don't think I would actually like sell the pattern, but I might actually make a couple of those and probably sell them between $12 and $15. Again, they're only like about this big. I would need to find something hard to have their mouth open, because that's how I made them, is that their mouth was like kind of hardened over. If you put just stuffing in there, it just didn't work right. Because like it closed in and everything, it just didn't look appealing. So like I would put like plastic container tops, like from ice cream and stuff. I would put them around in there, and of course, anybody that bought them, I would make them wear it be like hand wash only. Do not put in the dryer. There is plastic actually in there, and back then you didn't have safety eyes, so you used buttons. So, and I had a lot of cool buttons. So I'm not sure where they are now. But now it's the safety eyes, era. So I just wanted to catch up. I have not done any video in a long time. I had a lot of stuff going on, so that is the main reason why, and I wanted to get a lot of inventory on, and just haven't had time. Like, watching shows with my boyfriend and then watching him play the PS5 is like so fun because he does these story games and I love those, like Last Among Us and Red Dead Redemption. I'm sorry if I'm saying it wrong. He played those for me. He plays quite a few other games, but there's a few I don't like when he plays them because you die, you gotta start literally all over. So if he's playing for a couple hours, he gets really mad, like, I just wasted my time, So and he's good at it. And honestly, he is excellent at games, and I honestly think he should make money doing it, because it doesn't matter if it's a new game or not, within a day, he wins it. Within a day. Tops. I mean, like, literally, like, and sometimes even in a couple hours, like, boom, he's like, alright, I won it. I'm like, you literally just downloaded that game an hour ago. And he goes, yeah. So he's really good at it, and I really think he should make some money doing it. Yes, once in a while he has to look something up and everything to see how to pass something, cheat a little bit, kind of like how people are making money. Showing people how to do that stuff. But again, once he figures that out, boom, and then he wins the game every time. So I think he should really honestly make money with doing it. I recently had to get I don't know how to explain it. I'm going to be moving. So, and that is by the end of this month, which is basically the end of this month. Believe it's the 26th today. And I want to be completely out by the end of June, honestly. I'm going to be moving into a lot smaller space on a friend's property. But there's some situations that I have to go this route to make everything more successful in other ways. So I'm willing to do it. And honestly, I've been wanting to do this ever since I was an adult. So this is kind of like my dream come true, doing this part, where I'm moving to and what I'm moving into. Back then, campers were yes, it's a camper. I do have to fix it up though. People lied to me about damage, so we gotta kind of fix it up a little. But back when I first wanted to do this, it was considered hillbilly. No offense to anybody. I'm not trying to like insult anybody at all, but again, in the 2000s, beginning of the 2000s, people didn't just live in a camper. If you lived in a camper, you were considered a redneck hillbilly. And again, I'm not trying to insult anybody. That's just how people looked at it. A lot of people wouldn't say that, but that's how people looked at it. So I never really said that I wanted to, but like I always thought like that would be awesome, living in a camper, um, willing to like if I had to, I can just pick up and go somewhere else, go south if I wanted to. I don't have a good enough vehicle to do that with the camper that I bought because it's a 26, and all I have is the Blazer, 2004 Blazer right now. So obviously, I can't just pick up and just go. It is going to be on a friend's property, which he owns two properties, so it's a pretty big space. And then, uh, but now, like, even my dad's like, what, you want to be a redneck, a hillbilly, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, so you guys got a camper and you guys plan on going and living in a camper for like all winter down south. So what's the difference? And then I said, on top of it, you know how many people live in campers or do the tiny homes? It is so popular now, Dad, because it's easier to do that money wise. Invest your money into a camper or a tiny house where you don't have to do a lot of pay a big electricity bill or a big this bill or a big that bill. You invest all that money and then it's just a little bit more better. I mean, yes, gas has to do with it too. Like, you can park however long you want and always have your home with you if you really wanted to. And so my dad kind of came around and was like, all right, yeah, I get it, So, and that this is how it is. Like, honestly, I think a lot of people that that are construction, that make tiny homes and everything like that, is coming out a lot, earning a lot more money because they're selling so many, because people do want that little tiny homes or campers, and or some kind of vehicle turned into like a camper. I watch YouTube videos where I don't remember the name, but it's a lady that has a van, a pretty big van, converted into her camper. And she has all these shelves up on top, and then she sleeps on the bottom, which folds up, and there's more storage underneath it or something like that. And she just basically sleeps in it, and travels and does whatever she needs to do during the day. And she, like, she sits outside, pretty much. I think there is a spot where she can sit if she has to, if it's like raining or a bad weather. But that's just how it is now, So, and honestly, where I'm at, I need to get out. I can't stand this. I lived in a house for about 8 years. Didn't have to worry about the owner really much. Let me pretty much do what I want. And now I'm in an apartment and I can't stand it. Absolutely cannot stand it. People are too damn nosy. I mean, I like most of my neighbors that I know. And some neighbors I don't. They're just kind of grumpy. That's all. But again, I'm disabled, so obviously I'm in a disabled place. My arm and my foot, I busted my foot in 2004. Actually shattered it. Had 5 surgeries pretty much every year. So after 5 years, I kind of had to learn how to walk again. And gained a lot of weight because of it. I mean, a lot. I've lost a lot of weight since then, thank God. But yes. And that is one reason is why I became a great crocheter, was the time I had to spend literally in bed with my foot up in the air with a cast on it. That is what made me the excellent crocheter that I actually am, and can figure it out in my head. I've always been a great sewer. I can look at a picture and be like, oh, I can make that. And pretty much I make the exact same. I turn that into the crocheting type now. Like, oh, yep, I can do that. Yeah, I might have to take out a couple rolls and redo it, but, or, you know, with this tiny, just start over, but I can pretty much do it. So, again, I just wanted to catch up because I have not done a video in a long time. I know it's been 45 minutes for this video, and I'm sorry about that. I will try to link some stuff down in where the stuff that you didn't see that I just kind of talked about, their videos and stuff. A lot of the stuff you just find on YouTube and Instagram. If you go on YouTube and Instagram and type in, let's say, butterfly tops, you will get a whole list of stuff. Again, the shell, which I'm making right now. This is the one I'm making right now. And then the just double stitch, which I do not have one of those out here. I believe it is packed away right now. You type in mallard ducks, crocheted mallard ducks, and boom, you got your video, your pattern. On Instagram, you pretty much can do the same thing. There are so many free patterns between Instagram and YouTube. I've never had to buy a pattern. I probably will. I mean, being on disabled money, it's kind of hard for me to do that. Mostly is if I need to do something, I spend it on my materials and not a pattern. I'll look at the pattern and just kind of do exactly what it says to do. I've never actually looked at any paid patterns, just the free ones. As I get further down into my business, yes, I plan on maybe buying a couple of patterns. Probably easier ones that are a couple of dollars and so, which I have no problem is, like, baby stuff, I'm not going to. It'd probably be mostly amigurumi type things. Or, a really awesome, like, shawl or something that I'd want to make. And I don't quite see what the material or the stitches look like or anything like that. Like, I made the Granny Stitch sweaters. You do in the octagon type style and everything. I made one of those for myself. I made it way too big, but it's comfy. It's really comfy in some browns and tans and creams. In acrylic yarn, which I don't mind it. It is actually pretty soft. But like things like that, I probably would buy a pattern for. And the amigurumi, like if they like, there's a dragon out there, like the sleeping dragon. I don't remember what exactly it's called. It usually the tail ends up kind of almost being like a heart. I want that pattern so bad, and I cannot find a free one, so I'm probably gonna end up buying one, but probably not until after this craft show. I'll probably use a little bit of what I earned to buy that pattern. Because I really, really, really want to make that. And then I know there's some free patterns for the Triceratops and then the regular dinos. But there's another type of dragon also that I really want to do. It's got like, I don't know, like the lady actually even adds like jewelry to it, and they are so beautiful. Again, I don't know what the name is. I just see them on Instagram and a couple YouTube shorts, and so I never really actually pay attention to who it is yet. Or if I look, I just kind of forget about it. But I kind of want to do a couple of those. Those would be like again, I don't like big items, but those I honestly would not mind doing like a few of those once in a while. I do 4 feet by 6 feet checkerboard blankets. And I sell them for about $145, depending on if you want me to add a letter into them. But I do those. I have made actually a bunch of those. Let's see, 6, 7. I made 8 of those already for customers. And then I made a flower checkerboard blanket, sunflower checkerboard blanket, which again, I believe it's on Instagram. And then I did a pot leaf for a friend, which backed out of it. So, someone I consider my niece actually bought it, but bought it a lot cheaper. It would have been a $200 blanket, and I let her have it for like $120. Again, I consider my niece, so why not? I am going to get off here, and I hope you guys enjoy this video. I do know that it's almost an hour long, so I apologize for that if you guys do not want to fully watch the video. And at this craft show, I am going to be having a drawing for a blanket. It's a star blanket. It is also in my Instagram. To enter to win, it'll be $1 each entry, and then I do also have scratch offs for like 50 cents off, $1 off, $5 off, $10 off a purchase of $50 or more, stuff like that. Of course, there's got to be like try again type ones in there too, so it's not every single one not a winner. And then I'll have my mystery bags, which I will be videotaping me setting up the mystery bags, and then I am also thinking about doing another drawing after the craft show, putting together a couple of my amigurumis and doing a drawing for anybody that came from the craft show or anybody that's following me on Instagram and me getting followers. I'm thinking about doing it once I hit 500 followers. I am at 120, I want to say. Maybe 124. I don't know exactly. This is the phone that I have Instagram on, so I can't really double check that. But I want to get 500 followers and then get 1,000, and then every 500 I'm thinking about doing a giveaway. And on those giveaways, of course, I will do a video and show 2 items that I'll probably be doing. And I'll pick out of which one of those items for whoever wins. And what I'll basically have is like mention in the comments a certain word, and you'll be entered, or leave, something, or message me, but probably just leave in the comments something cool, or have them be like, pay attention to this video. I will say a certain code word, enter it in the bottom. If you get it, you are entered to, whatever. But again, I am going to end this. You all have a nice day, and bye to all my followers, and also to all my neighbor crafters. Have a great day.